All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 274. Today on the show, we have a new clip of Mondami eating schlop with his hands. Very disrespectful. Then we have some major Supreme Court victories we're excited to tell you guys about. Then in Cringe of the Week, we have an unhinged feminist who tries to stop ducks from mating in the park. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, we have some urban individuals who are partying where they shouldn't be partying. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 274, ranked the best news podcast of all time!
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, I want to tell you about what our friends over at Black Bar Supplements are cooking up. Studies have been done that show that flavanols in cocoa simulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees coming out of a beehive. They go out and find whatever part of your body needs to be repaired. If it's the heart, it goes there. If it's the liver, it goes there. Skin, brain, bones, whatever it is. But don't take my word for it. Listen to this Harvard scientist, Dr. William Lee.
So, studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it. And so we can eat foods like high flavanol cocoa in order to be able to actually get the stem cells to work a little bit better. Now, how do we know this actually functions, works in people? Well, clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in like men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month. They doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream and their circulation improved measurably. And then what's even more important and impressive is that there was a study called the Cosmos study that was completed recently that showed that eating high flavanol cocoa decreases the risk of cardiovascular death.
Isn't that crazy? And it's dark chocolate, not milk chocolate, not M&Ms, not Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, nothing like that. But the flavanols are the good stuff that are found in the cocoa bean, and it's usually destroyed in the cocoa making process. That's why Black Forest Supplements made the first high flavanol cocoa powder. This right here is not just any other cocoa. This is to help bring the stem cells out and to repair your body. If you're experiencing significant aging, slow recovery, weak immunity, blame your lazy stem cells, but also wake them up. Cocoa flavanol activates them by naturally producing more stem cells. Your body's going to repair tissue, help you heal faster, glow your skin, and support your immune system. Studies show that cocoa flavanol increases stem cell circulation by over 100%, and it's only 20 calories, packed with everything the body needs. And the best part is you can mix it into a shake or make hot chocolate. I put mine in my coffee in the morning, and it's way better than spending $40,000 for stem cells the Hollywood way. I use this product myself. I'm a big believer in stem cells, and I'm a big believer in getting them naturally so your body can do what it needs to do in order to heal. And the good news is I was able to score a really great deal for you guys, 40% off, but only for the next 48 hours. Check out the link in the video description below. Just go ahead and follow that. Use my code, get the 40% off. I've been using this myself, and the results are amazing. That's why I wanted to let you guys know about it. The link is in the description. It's also the pinned comment below. Thank you to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring.
Thank you, Black Forest.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Feels good.
Thank you.
Another week in the books almost. We have a little bit of an announcement. Friday is July 4th, so there will not be a YouTube episode, but there will be a bonus land episode on FleccasTalks.com, so you guys do the math there.
Yeah.
If you want the show, you get the show, but in a special way.
Yep. Enjoy the time with your families.
All right, but before we can enjoy the time with our families, we need to get to some major stories first. Wall Street economist who ripped Trump admits president may have outsmarted all of us on tariffs.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's the vibes I was getting, too. I was kind of telling everyone to let him cook, and it'll work out.
For sure. And to be fair, there was the whole stock market crash, and that was kind of caused by it. And Mr. Market may have bullied Trump into leaning off the tariffs a little bit. But we still have smaller tariffs on a lot of countries. They're crawling back now, doing trade deals with us. Yep. China, there's a, what do they call it? There's a layout of a plan or something like that. So we'll see how it does. But in the meantime, we are collecting a lot of tax revenue.
That's very true. And I thought I'm an economist. Tariffs aren't going to work. I went to business school and a book said that tariffs aren't a good idea. I have a pencil and paper and it's not going to wrong.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Trump just threatens other world leaders and then they come crawling back. Turns out when someone really wants access to your markets and you kind of only sort of need access to theirs, it's called a lopsided engagement.
It's very true. And keep in mind, tariffs were always a negotiating tool. It wasn't a long-term plan. It was a way to get people to the table. And now we're at all-time highs stock market-wise with better trade deals than we had. And it's still cooking. We still have more to come. We collected $127 billion in tariffs so far with another $27 billion expected in June. Mm-hmm. So you love to see it.
I think that's $400 billion annually. Something like that's what they said in the article, at least.
That's a lot. And hopefully Jerome Powell gets fired next and gets replaced with someone who's going to lower rates all the way to zero.
No, I don't know about that, dude. All right. We'll get into that.
I need it for the shit coins.
Okay.
All right. Our next story, Karmello Anthony update, the Austin Metcalf murder. He ran out of money somehow, and he's using a public defendant.
Yeah, Karmello Anthony now applying for a public defender after raising a fortune is absolutely hysterical. Everyone knew it was going to happen, but it still hits different hearing it. So that was fast.
Not really helping with the stereotypes either.
Yeah, exactly. So he hit both parts of the typical ghetto lottery, as we call it. The first part is getting a bunch of money on a GoFundMe for something that you weren't really... that you're misrepresenting. Mm-hmm. You knife someone, self-defense. No, it really wasn't. Here's $500,000. And then the next leg is, of course, blowing all that money.
Yeah, happens quick.
And what did they buy, an Escalade?
They rented a really nice house, new Jordans.
Yeah, so money's gone. Your son has a public defender with a stutter who's never tried a court case in public. And he's going to jail for life, probably.
Well, hopefully. He should. All right, our next story I thought was pretty interesting. Can you read that tweet?
From Pramila Jayapal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Star Wars name who shouldn't be in the country, who's actually an elected official.
Yeah.
She said, this is climate change, and it's a picture of the United States during a hot summer day.
And to be fair, I've definitely noticed the change in climate. In Florida, it used to be in the 60s and 70s, and now it's in the 90s.
Yeah, and then when was that? January it was in the 60s and 70s?
So 6-7 months, it changes that much.
That's fucking crazy. What's
also known as summer?
Our future is at stake, guys.
Yeah, if it keeps going, it'll be like 200 degrees by December.
I can't even imagine. Yeah, December, dude, straight line up.
And then there's an article that kind of pairs with this. Can you give that headline a read?
Yeah, it says same-sex couples face higher climate change risks, new UCLA study shows.
I'm assuming that's because when it's hotter, the people's butts get stinkier and sweatier.
Yeah, maybe some disease thing. I was going to say it was the lesbians beating each other. It's hot, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They hit each other more, so that could be the climate risk.
Like the guy from Streetcar Named Desire.
Never saw that one.
You know, he beats up his girlfriend, his wife. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we have some Supreme Court victories, which is really good. This is actually a great past week Supreme Court-wise.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we kind of hit a turning tide, MAGA-wise. Like, we're getting some wins. We're really deporting people. The little riot pockets, the Iran thing's behind us. Everybody who cared too much about that on either side kind of exposed themselves. And the LA riots are kind of squashed down. Mm-hmm. We're continuing to deport people. And then now the Supreme Court wins are finally racking up.
Can you read the summation of those wins?
Yeah, several massive wins. This was from late last week. Most nationwide injunctions have been ruled unconstitutional. That was the 6-3 decision. Trump's birthright citizenship ban is in effect. Parents have the right to opt out of their kids being indoctrinated with LGBTQ propaganda in public schools, and states can require age verification for porn sites.
Great.
Whoever was bringing that case, like you can't do age verification for porn.
All the Democrats were defending.
Who are you representing? 16-year-olds who are trying to fucking...
Or like worse, like we want the kids to see what's going on.
Yeah, we need hardcore shit, hardcore stuff.
And for everybody.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to national injunctions, we have before and after when it comes to Trump versus every other president. Can you read N Wokeness's tweet, please?
Yeah, the national injunctions issued by district judges to block a policy of the sitting president. The entire 20th century, there were 27, and just for President Trump, there are over 100. And the Supreme Court just ended that. That's the biggest win. And I'm not a Supreme Court scholar or an expert, but basically when someone goes to a district court and is appealing something, they would take that ruling, like say I'm a guy who They want to deport me to Venezuela, and I'm fighting it. And if he won in some district court who Obama appointed, who was born in Singapore, that's the extent of it. That ruling would apply for everyone under similar circumstances. And now it only applies to that individual, is the way I understand it. Again, not a scholar.
More of a scholar than me, so I believe you.
Okay.
And then Ketanji Brown Jackson, my least favorite Supreme Court justice, who she talks too much. And she's not very smart. We've said that before. We don't think she's very smart, and we don't think she even understands law and obviously shouldn't be a justice. She's been going against ACB, Amy Coney Barrett, and they've kind of been in a little bit of a duel. Can you read the Posobiec tweet?
He said the Supreme Court has published an opinion that includes a section explaining that Ketanji Brown Jackson can't seem to understand the legal arguments being made in the case. So yeah, in some of their opinions, they're really kind of torching her.
They're torching her, and when it comes to Supreme Court stuff and law stuff, it's kind of boring.
It's very dense.
I don't understand legalese.
So you're like Ketanji Brown Jackson.
I am,
basically.
But I'm not one of 9.
You weren't appointed by retarded Joe Biden or AutoPen, whichever way you see it.
I'm not the highest judge in the land.
Yes.
But her and I have the same understanding, it seems like. And obviously, when it comes to Supreme Court stuff and law stuff, it's very boring. It's very
dry,
wordy. There's papers and stacks of papers. So instead of reading you all the things, For America turned all of the critiques of Ketanji Brown Jackson into an AI song. So we're going to play that for you so you can understand.
We will not dwell on Justice Jackson's argument, which is at odds with more than 2 centuries worth of precedent. Not to mention the Constitution itself. Justice Jackson skips over that part because analyzing the governing statute involves boring legalese. Justice Jackson would do well to heed her own admonition. Everyone from the president on down is bound by law that goes for judges too.
All right. Isn't that a funner way to ingest the information?
Sure. I guess the ultimate way for you, which would almost end up in final page of Housekeeping, is if some Asian guy sang it with a poor accent. That might be better for you.
I could learn anything in that format.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. But hey, guys, in all seriousness, the basic gist is people are tired of her being retarded on the Supreme Court and issuing opinions based on how she feels about something that 200 years of precedent. You couldn't even acknowledge the 200 years, the 200 piece. Mm-hmm. That's basically all we have as a country. What are we, 250 years old-ish?
Something.
So, yeah, she's getting scalped by the rest of the people.
And we love to see it. And we have a meme here. Here's her trying to understand the law from Mostly Peaceful Memes.
Yep.
Love to see it. And our final piece of our Supreme Court section, we have a little bit of a David Hogg before and after. Can you read when he was mad at J.D. Vance, who was a senator at the time?
Yeah, he said, J.D. Vance, a sitting U.S. senator, is openly calling for the president to defy the Supreme Court. If that is not playing with fire, I don't know what is.
And then David Hogg last week, fuck the Supreme Court, fuck the Federal Society, fuck Mitch McConnell. Yeah. And that was 5 months apart.
I know. Not much consistency there for young David.
Comes quick.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's a huge win. I mean, think of all the random judges. Oh, some guy in Hawaii, some guy, Judge Boasberg, these people who are just thorns in Trump's side. And that's what we said is that's what they do. They rev up the judicial system, and they obviously go harder at Trump with 100 plus versus 27 for the entire 20th century. So that's a pretty big win for Trump to start doing what he wants to do.
Big time.
Yeah.
Love to see it. All right.
Especially with deportations.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the 20 million illegals who just got here.
Because then you can't do anything.
Yeah.
If all right, I want to do this, and then one judge goes, I don't think it's a good idea, and it's some Obama guy or some Joe Biden retard.
And it's a bandwidth issue, too. Then you have to spend all this time talking about it, fighting about it, talking heads on the news. They're distracted. We want to be a full train going down the tracks instead of we got to stop and pick this up. We got to stop and fight this judge. Remember that caricature Chinese judge?
Oh,
South Korean judge. He looked like this. We'd get in propaganda posters.
Chinese South Korean guy.
Yeah, we'd get in trouble for drawing him, and he's now neutered. Trump is the president.
Trump's Chad. Everyone else is not.
Yep.
This is an interesting story out of New York. Can you read that headline?
Yeah, FDNY suspends officer for giving hot girls ride on fire truck as department probes frat house behavior.
Can an N-word live?
Dude, what happened? That's like part of your right as a fireman. Little kids, hot chicks, they get to ride, they get to honk the horn.
That's like 90% of it.
Put on the hat. Why would you sign up otherwise? The pension? You like the pension? No, it's the hot chick.
Hot chicks. They think it's like a thing.
You're getting suspended for Americana now.
Yeah, so we need an investigation into which fat girl reported him.
And
let's be honest,
the jealous girl who got denied a ride on the rig is definitely watching.
And let's be honest, that's probably what happened. If the girls weren't hot, I don't think there'd be an issue.
Yeah.
But because they picked hot girls, now the firehouse is longhoused, and a firehouse is a place for manly men, but now it has to be a place for women, even though it's a firehouse.
Bad.
So not good at all. Let's get to our next story. We talked about this on Friday. The new New York City mayor, Zohran Mondami.
Yeah, the attempted mayor. He's not mayor yet, but you know.
You know. And we covered what we covered on Friday, but I found some new information. First, we have a video here of him eating schlop with his hands.
So the third holy grail of taboos in American politics, you have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are really going for the trifecta.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics?
When you grow up as someone, especially in the third world, you have a very different understanding of the Palestinian struggle.
The third world.
I don't care about the third world. You're in New York City.
Yeah, it's all about the third world.
And he talks about a trifecta while he's eating rice with his hands, a messy rice dish with his fingers.
And he slurps it up on camera in front of us. And Mehmet Sisfitz had a tweet that I thought summed it up nicely. Deeply revealing commentary. Why do you support Palestine? Third world solidarity. Rarely spoken so clearly and succinctly.
Yeah. He said the quiet part out loud, and that's the type of guy he is.
And keep in mind, that's the kind of guy he's pretending to be. Like, that's the kind of guy he's trying to act like. Yeah. But we actually found a tweet of who he really is and where he comes from. Can you read that, please?
Yeah. Mamdani's mother is a world-famous Academy Award-nominated Bollywood director worth tens of millions of dollars. His father is a chaired professor at Columbia. He is, in effect, a perpetual theater kid who's pretending to be third world. It's all so performative and stupid.
Very performative, very stupid. And then I found an old tweet here. In 2017, he was working hard to get a lot of the public statues ripped down because of racism or whatever. Yeah. Can you read what he wrote back then?
In 2017, NYC ordered a review of public works constituting symbols of hate for potential removal, but a statue of Columbus remains in Astoria in defiance of the values of humanity, empathy, and justice that we stand for. Sign this petition.
So that's how he shows his appreciation of becoming a citizen.
Get the Columbus statues down.
Get the Christopher Columbus statues down. That was in 2017. He became a citizen in 2018. So he moved fast in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, he's a socialist, and he wants to seize the means of productions. And Harlan Hill had a great tweet responding to that. Can you give that a read?
Yeah, he said, bro, how are you going to seize the means of production when globalists move all the production to China?
Yeah, production's gone, brother.
We don't produce anything. You're talking about like taxing someone with a remote job. That's the thing. It's not about means of production. It's about control over everyday New Yorkers, right? And especially the ones that are doing better than average.
Exactly. Like you're just giving away what's left of a dying corpse to these third worlders. And keep in mind, like that's what New York is becoming. We have a clip here. This is the beach just outside of New York City.
Trash.
That's good. So it looks like shit. Those people eat with their hands, probably.
Yeah. They have solidarity with the third world by leaving their shit right at the edge of the water so that it gets sucked out during high tide.
Yeah, so very disrespectful. And then just to wrap it up, like we said in the last episode, South Asian strivers. On the left, you have Mondami eating with his hands, and on the right, you got Vivek with no shoes on.
Yeah, Ramswamy, Mamdani, Hussein Obama.
That's it. That pretty much
sums it up.
That pretty much sums it up. And I found this tweet that sums it up as well. Can you read that, please?
When I say I hate libs, I mean they're dumb, but I'd save them from a flood. When libs say be kind, they mean they would literally annihilate my extended family.
That's who we're dealing with.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that underneath.
And I saw a new Gallup poll came out, and it asked people, are you proud to be an American? And Democrats, only 36% said yes. And then for Republicans, 92% said yes.
Like, one of the core tenets of being a leftist is like generally disliking yourself and where you're from. It just seems not fun. And then you wonder why they have more mental health issues and problems and aren't as happy. And it's like, yeah, you fucking hate yourself. And then you generally broadly hate your country. How do you start?
And then you hate your country, and then you like fairy tale land fantasize about all the other countries that are good. Like, oh, Palestine, that's such a good place. And they're being oppressed. And then you go there and they eat with their hands and there's shit on the ground and no one likes you. They probably kill you.
Yeah.
So it's like you like a place in your head, but if you went there in real life, you'd quickly realize what's really going on.
Of course.
All right, our next story.
Idealism versus reality, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Our next story is about a guy who's buying one-way tickets for homeless people to get the fuck out of his town.
Hi, sir. Are you doing okay?
Yeah. A bold new strategy targeting the homeless crisis across Los Angeles.
You want some water?
No, I have water.
Here's a poncho. You want it for later?
Fox 11 on the street exclusively with Santa Monica business owner John Alley.
I'll drop this off with you. It has a number that you can call if you ever want to reunify with your family or hometown.
Handing out flyers to those with suitcases and sleeping bags.
Our group pays for that. No questions asked.
Offering to buy the homeless one-way flights out of town.
I'll leave this here with a
Pretty good.
You get it. And this is not necessarily new. People, municipalities have been doing this forever. I think that's in the 90s and 80s and early 2000s. People used to do that in like Montana. They'd get people to California. So now finally California is fighting back a little bit, right?
I kind of had an idea similar to this for St. Pete. In St. Pete, there's like a nice park right on the water downtown where there's like 20 homeless people. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, like, what if I went up to them and said, hey guys, are you interested in taking a survey? It pays $200, but it's in Orlando. There's a bus leaving in an hour, and you get them all on the bus. You have them sign a contract. You drive to Orlando, get to a parking lot. You go, oh, here's the survey. What's your favorite drink?
One question survey.
And you go, here's $200. Yeah. And then you leave them there and you drive back. And then in the contract, it says, I'm only responsible for the ride to Orlando.
Okay, but what if they use the $200 to get a ride back, a bus ticket back?
That is possible. But I think like the addicts would spend the money immediately on drugs.
Yeah.
So you'd only get the most industrious homeless to come back.
Yeah.
If they did, or I just give them $80.
Okay, yeah, start lowballing them.
Yeah.
Even more.
And then is that illegal?
No, I think you can do whatever you want.
And then if they're signing,
that's like a private interaction between two citizens, you know?
So you can get rid of 20 homeless people for $1,600.
That's cheap.
That's real. And so I can charge the city. I'll say, oh, give me $150,000. $80 each.
Yeah.
Keep $119,000 or whatever.
Yeah, and you know what? The interacting with the homeless, like the right largely ignores homeless, and then we're kind of like, hey, stop giving them money, stop enabling them, stuff like that. But if we were to go on offense, start misdirecting the homeless, sending them here, sending them there, shaking things up, could be fun.
And it's not illegal because they're like capable people who signed a contract saying
they're adults, they're normal people.
It's not like I'm taking advantage of like a child or someone who doesn't speak English.
Yeah, well, maybe some of them, but I'm with it. I think we need to.
Are they going to file a police report against me?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think hey, I'm cooking. Let me know in the comments if this is a good idea because maybe we could do a special.
Yeah.
Where we rent a bus, everybody on.
Minibus.
You have to be security.
I'll drive.
So I'll drive, and you have to be security facing the homeless to make sure no one like slices my throat, slit throat patrol.
Yeah.
And then we get them to Orlando. Here's the contract. Oh, here's this. Oh, here's a survey. Oh, I like grape soda. I like Fresca. Oh, great. Oh, wow. Studied this data. Oh, wow. Very interesting. All right. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
And you leave them in a parking lot.
That's fair.
And then you live in Orlando now.
That's Orlando's problem.
Yeah. And how do you get back? You spend all the money you just made to go back, or is it basically the same day you're living on a bench?
That's true. Yeah.
All right, so that's an idea, and I'm going to cook on that, and I'll make that happen, and I'll have Ron DeSantis pay me for it.
Okay.
All All right, next we're in our
That's actually within the state, so Ron DeSantis wouldn't care. He'd be like, all right, you fucked Orlando. What now?
You solved it for St.
I saw what
Pete.
you said to me about the boots and the campaign against Trump.
That's what I worry about.
Yeah.
That one day I'll need Ron DeSantis' help, and I made fun of him relentlessly for a year and a half.
Yeah. Big mistake.
Well. Hey, it felt like the right thing to do.
Okay.
We're now in our migrant section. Good news. Well, we're starting off with some bad news.
Yeah.
Can you read that bad news?
Yeah, U.S. population change since 2020. Latinos plus 6 million. Asians plus 2.5. Blacks plus 1.2. Whites minus 2.14.
Latinos. 6 million in 5 years? That sounds like a lot.
And I doubt that. Shouldn't that be higher with bodies coming in?
Yeah.
Like that's we're giving the same people who are taking the word of the people who give our low migration number estimates. So
yeah, and then whites is down 2 million.
Yeah,
they're the best ones.
I know, we're the best.
Sucks.
We got our boomer aging population is just dying off.
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Next, we have some more good news, Trump-wise and policy-wise. Remember all those Haitians that came here really easily because of the refugee app?
Yeah. They got temporary protected status under Biden. They filled Middle America, Springfield, Ohio, that town in Pennsylvania, which name escapes me at the moment, taking up spots in the classroom.
Yep. Well, the good news is that's being reversed, and now they're all going back. And then Rep. Frederica Wilson had something to say about it.
Yeah, she said, deporting Haitians back to Haiti is a kiss of death. How can the Department of Homeland Security say it's safe to return to Haiti while the State Department is still warning Americans not to travel there? Haiti is not safe. It's riddled with gang violence and political turmoil. The poorest country in the Western Hemisphere cannot absorb deportees. This news is insanity on steroids, and it is heartbreaking to my community.
So they used to say Haiti's great. Remember Conan O'Brien and Bill Maher? Haiti is great already. And now it's a kiss of death to get sent there where you're from.
Yeah, which is insane. And that was during Trump saying countries were shitholes, which obviously countries are shitholes, and there's a ranking and there's a pecking order, and Haiti's on the low end. The Dominican Republic is the other half of that island, and they have a hard line right there. They don't let the Haitians in. So,
and keep in mind too, so sending them back is a kiss of death, but then also when you have a country that's the poorest in the Western Hemisphere with all this horrible gang violence, and then you say, okay, we'll take 200,000 from there. Do you think you're getting the best behaved ones, or are you kind of getting 200,000 of the people participating in that kind of shit?
I think it's a mix. It's a mix. I'm sure there's a guy from Haiti who's good, you know? I'm sure there's one or two.
Yeah. I know a guy in high school who was Haitian, and his name was Ronnie. He had the same birthday as me, and he's a doctor now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, good for him.
He's a doctor.
Does that mean we need 200,000, 500,000 of them?
If you extrapolate that and apply it to every single person,
500,000 free doctors.
I sound racist for not wanting these Haitians here. But that's obviously not everybody, because Grok, what's the average IQ in Haiti? Just give us the number. Number, please.
67.
67. That's less than a dolphin.
That's retarded. That is retarded.
It's literally retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But that's like, you really hear some bad arguments. You know, we've said a long time when we're doing these deportations, get ready to withstand a woman crying or a woman holding a baby saying, look at this, look at what happened. I've been here for 20 years and they're deporting me. We have to withstand that. And the don't deport them back to the country where they came from because it's filled with, because it's a shithole. That's on the low end of the winning argument, you know?
Yeah.
We can propaganda about someone who owns a business or started this and that. You know, Frederica Wilson should learn where her arguments are effective, and the don't send them back, it's a kiss of death is not a great argument.
Not a great argument at all. And then obviously with this diversity, it's been thrust upon America and the West in general. No one really had a choice. No one voted for it. It just kind of happened. And then I saw this funny graph, which is the boomer experience of diversity. It's kind of the people who let it in, I would say.
You started it at least, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, or didn't oppose it early enough
in
and
the
just
60s.
Assumed it was fine.
Yeah.
And here we have the boomer experience of diversity. Can you read the whole thing?
Yeah, well, the x-axis is low trust ethnic diversity going up, and then quality of life is on the y-axis. And it starts with, wow, these tacos are so good. then it goes, it's fun to learn about other cultures. That's like the intro when they're a tiny percent of your population and you try Indian food, garlic naan for the first time.
And there's some guy with an accent goes, oh, yeah, here's a garlic naan and buttered chicken.
Yeah.
You go, oh, this isn't so bad.
And they're on their best behavior, and you got some of the top tier guys. Then the Gen Z experience, which is what we're kind of seeing now, is reparations, kill whiteness, a lesser college for you, rape gangs, and then it's our country now.
So we're on our way, and I think that graph is probably even steeper. It happens faster than it's happening fast.
Yeah, and then
point.
And there should be another piece, which is like how many people politicians have let in during that time, and we've obviously experienced a spike.
All right, our next part of our migrant section involves trucking deaths. We've told you guys a bunch of times about illegals and foreigners who are driving trucks and they don't really know what they're doing, but it's cheap labor. Can you show that guy's pic, that first guy?
Yeah,
Can you read the headline?
The story is this guy fell asleep behind the wheel of his 18-wheeler and killed five people on Interstate 20 at Hiram Road yesterday. That's east of Dallas, I believe.
And then if you look really closely before we play the video, 5'8", 308. So kind of an RRB type.
Yeah, he looks like me too. He looks exactly like me.
And then you see his race is listed as white, W.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then here's the news article or the news video about it.
A truck driver is now charged with manslaughter in a terrible crash that killed 5 people on Interstate 20 east of Dallas. This happened in Kaufman County, just outside of Terrell.
Bad casualty. This is new video recorded just seconds after a deadly 7-vehicle pileup about 40 minutes east of Dallas involving an 18-wheeler.
That loud and that bang was just incredible.
The crash happened right outside the window of Kareen Mulcahy, who lives in the RV resort just off I-20 in Terrell.
And then I saw the first truck's brake lights, the F-150, and then I saw this truck just come out of nowhere. I don't know how many miles an hour he was going when he hit that pickup truck.
Paramedics took one person from the pickup truck to the hospital by helicopter. Investigators say 5 others died at the scene. Texas Rangers say 27-year-old semi-driver Alexis Osmani Gonzalez Capioni fell asleep while driving. WFAA is working to learn his employer. His charges, 5 counts of manslaughter and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, arrested at the scene.
Arrested at the scene, fell asleep while driving, and his legal status is unknown. I think he was illegal, right?
Yeah, no, he was not a citizen. So this is like who's out on the road, and it was recently confirmed the company involved in the Terrell, Texas crash was cited in March for employing truck drivers unable to read and speak English. So
the jig is up.
Yeah, well, the jig is up for them now, but if you had forced more enforcement of this, or kind of the fines levied were worse, maybe 5 people would be alive right now from this fat fuck mouth breather pig, human pig.
Retard.
Yeah. And then we've talked about this before. So, you just have to be aware of trucks and knowing who's out on the road. And I think we explained it when you're sitting in traffic, leaving a kill box. When you pull up right to the bumper of the person in front of you, and then someone comes and goes, poof, poof, poof.
You're in a kill box.
You're in a kill box. It's bad practice. You kind of almost need to be thinking about where you can escape to. Where's the shoulder? Is this truck barreling down at 80 miles an hour and not slowing down behind me? There's an alternate kill box too on the highway.
Yeah, you leave enough space in front of you so you could always just turn and floor it when you see a truck in the rear view coming towards you and it's not slowing down like in Terminator.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just a sad story, but this is the state of the trucking industry right now.
They listed him as white.
Yeah, fuck
Antonio Gonzalez Manrique.
They always, if you have 4 names, you're basically not white unless you're some sort of royalty from Russell's.
Yeah, exactly. All right, our next clip is an interesting clip. It's proof of racism almost.
Even someone as white passing as me has received Indian racism online. Okay, Kumar. If her parents didn't immigrate here, she'd be sleeping in cow shit with no rights. The irony. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
You're
ready for Go ahead.
I got a racist comment. Do you want to hear it?
What is it?
If her parents did not immigrate here, she would be sleeping in cow shit with no rights. The irony.
You will be sleeping in what?
In cow shit with no rights. The irony.
Oh, okay.
Is that true?
Cow shit? What does that mean?
They're saying if I was still in India with you, we would be sleeping with cows and shit. But you didn't have cows in your house, right?
We did have cows in our house. So big deal.
I have to go.
Yeah.
We did have cows in the house.
So big deal.
That's probably my favorite clip from the whole episode. And is it racist, or is it just a harsh truth that you don't really like to acknowledge and you like to live in fairy tale pretend land?
Yeah, there is a line like, yeah, that's racist, but it was correct. So now the racism is reversed, and it was just some guy making an educated guess exactly right. So does a person like this admit that it's not racist anymore after calling mom and determining, actually, the racist random Instagram profile, he was correct. Racism absolved.
Yeah, and you could do this to any group, like, oh, Asian people, you guys like to eat bait fish, and then, oh, don't say that.
Don't say that. I'm not eating it.
I'm eating my dinner from the bait shop. Don't say that.
Yeah, I know. So there is a fine line. If you're exactly right, you're no longer racist, I think.
Yeah.
So even if
Or
it's
even
an
if you're
educated
close.
guess. Even if you're close, yeah.
Oh, you guys play around in the shit. And it's like, that's only some religious ceremonies.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm close.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys shit outside. That's only half of us.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Okay, that's the majority. 51%, that actually is the majority. That would win the popular vote. So we're right.
Yeah. All right, our last piece of our migrant section is some teenagers who are doing a hot dog stand now that the hot dog stand people are hiding from ICE.
This summer, me and my twin brothers decided that we're going to open up our own bacon wrap hot dog business called Glizzy Street. Instead of doing nothing at home, we want to make some money and try to do something big. We invested $400 that we saved from working weekends at our family gas station to start it up. It's a pretty big investment for us, but with some hard work and long nights, it will all be worth it. The first day we were pretty nervous and there was no customers for the first hour. Then things started to pick up. First we sold 1 hot dog, then 2, then 5, 10, and at the end of the day, we ended up selling over 20 hot dogs, which is pretty good in my opinion. If you want to show us some support, we are located in Long Beach at the American Oil gas station 7 days a week from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Long Beach, California, 6850 Long Beach Boulevard at that gas station. Tip them and say it's from Fleccas.
That's healing, The people who shouldn't be here are in hiding. Young American industrious teenagers are doing the low-skill job instead. And and you know what they're going to do? They're not going to send any of that money back to Mexico.
Yeah, they're going to get all that cash, hopefully pay no taxes, and buy a car for senior year of high school.
Invest in the American economy. So
it's pretty cool.
That's what America should be, right?
Yep, exactly. We are now moving on to our final page of housekeeping. Make sure you guys use the opportunity to post. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment, then comment again, then start yapping. P.O. Box needs to be full. Notifications need to be on. Old episodes need to be watched. And the link to this show needs to be sent to the bros in the group chat.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, our first story that I thought was interesting and worthy of the final page of housekeeping. Xfinity is admitting what Wi-Fi can do.
Yeah, they're now advertising. They're saying use Wi-Fi signals to detect motion in your home at no extra cost. Start detecting motion in minutes without relying on motion sensors or camera.
Oh, okay. What?
Yeah, the
What was
Wi-Fi
that?
is fucking bouncing around off me.
What was that?
Detecting my shit.
And I think this is what AI is going to do to hunt us down. Like you know how AI is an all-seeing thing? Part of it will be tapping into the cameras and seeing in every camera on every phone, like in Batman.
Yeah.
But the other part is going to be the Wi-Fi, and that's how AI is really going to see everything. And they're just going to have a map of your house. They're probably already collecting the data on everyone's house, and they probably have it all mapped perfectly. And then they know where everyone's at and where everyone's moving, and that's how they're going to hunt us down to kill us.
Okay. Okay. I was wondering where you're going. So AI is killing us, and then Wi-Fi is going to be a big piece of them locating us.
Yep. That's their sensor. That's like their sensory. That's their feels. Their tentacles.
Okay.
But it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And everywhere is Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So they're going to be able to hunt us down. But some machines are still nice. This Tesla was self-driving and decided to crash into a car to save a pedestrian who fell in front of the car. So that's a smart robot.
Tesla made the decision, human life, and it instead crashed into a car. Good for them.
To a different human who had more protection.
You think Tesla's going to be good robots into the future?
Well, I was going to say when AI takes over, they'll use the cars to run us over.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And Elon is like really trying to make a fucking robot, like a slave.
Yeah.
Slave robot. So we're close.
Yeah.
You know what they say? What's the phrase? Like, you overestimate what can be done in a year for technology, but you underestimate what can happen in 10 years.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty close to getting some crazy shit.
And then what'll happen is
AI. We've watched AI render like a video where Will Smith's like, and his arm bends this way. And now it's like Will Smith fully talking to the camera, giving like a speech.
Yeah.
It's ramping up.
It's ramping up, and then it'll probably be paired with universal basic income because everyone's job's going to get replaced with AI, but then they'll be able to get like an AI tax, which is like 50% of the profits gets redistributed to the former workers or something.
People who eat rice with their hands.
Yeah, so then we can just slurp rice with our hands, and then AI does all of our slave shit, and then no one can know anything.
Okay.
Or how to do anything.
Okay.
And the power will go out, and then they'll say, oh shit, the power's out. How do we grow corn? And then be like, we haven't grown corn in 200 years.
Okay. Fair.
And then everyone's dead.
All right.
All right, next is good news out of North Korea. They just opened a water park.
Here it is. There's a bunch of music going on, but
That's a good jump.
Yeah.
They don't do that in America.
Yeah, safety laws and shit.
Yeah.
ADA. Yeah.
Growing up, we used to have a sick diving board at my house, and then from like the 80s, and then like 10 or 15 years ago, the pool guy refused to reinstall it because it's like a safety hazard.
Too springy or something?
It used to launch you. Yeah, it was huge.
Damn.
And now I can't do it. What do you mean? You did it 40 years. You've put it in every season.
Yeah.
And now you can't do it. So North Korea looks nice. I'd go visit, and the rides are probably fun because they're a little on the edge of dangerous.
For sure.
And that's what I like. That's Americana.
That's Asian Akana. That's something Asian where everything's a little dangerous, and then eventually like a whole thing comes down, kills 3 people. That's Asian shit.
Yeah.
The escalator goes out, fucking 3 people sucked into the teeth. That's Asian.
And they go,
that's not really Americana.
We got to put a barrier here. And then they kind of get up to speed with it after experience.
Americans have kind of like a preventative learning, and then it makes it way more expensive and harder to build. China learns from 3 people dead.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like we'll learn as we go.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, next clip is the rolling guy at the drive-thru.
This guy's got no legs and no arms, and he's rolling. He's
smoking a cigarette. He's got his ass out.
What should be done with that guy? Should he be somewhere in like a little place? Like
You got to put him in the checkers. He's trying to get something to eat.
Okay. All right.
And he's all dirty because I bet that's really how he gets around.
I know. I don't think there's any other way when you have no limbs.
And he's smoking a cigarette.
He needs somebody who's like 60 IQ, who's really dumb but strong, and then he wheels him around, and then like they're a team, and he directs them. He uses his brain,
and he can have like a baby carrier.
Yeah. So
what do you want to do today, Frank?
He needs a muscle-bound sidekick. Yeah,
that's a good point. How did he light his cigarette?
Someone
came down and like, there you go, buddy.
Did it for him.
All right, our last clip of the final page of Housekeeping is a massive tornado that hit South Dakota.
That's pretty picture perfect. That's like a picture perfect tornado.
That's like that movie Twisters.
Yeah.
It's like the Twister from that movie.
Yeah. Uh-oh, there goes your sister. Sucked up into the Twister.
That's intense.
Yeah.
If I didn't know any better, I would go, oh, God's mad.
Okay. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. If you were an Aztec warrior or something, you'd take that as a sign.
See
and
an
you'd stab someone in the heart. You'd sacrifice someone.
You see an eclipse and go, I got to kill somebody now.
Okay.
To prevent this. Then you stab someone, and then for the next 5 years, there's no eclipse.
And the stabbing was right.
Then
Therefore, okay.
And then it happens again. It's like, shit.
God.
Let's do 10 this time. That's kind of how it goes. All right, that's the end of Housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first clip of Cringe of the Week is from one of those content creator entrepreneur types.
Salesman guys. Yeah.
Online salesman guys. And I think he pretty much ran out of stuff to say.
I have a strict $1,000 bathroom rule. And I'm very upfront about this with my teams. If you text me in the summer and you're in my car group and say, hey, will you pick me up and go to the bathroom? I'll send you a screenshot of my Venmo and say, as soon as $1,000 hits my Venmo, I'll come pick you up. And here's the reason behind that. And if you're in door to door, you should also be bullish on this. Most people are just nice. And so when someone asks you to go to the bathroom, you take 5 minutes, you get to your car. You take another 5-10 minutes to go pick them up. You take 5-10 minutes and you go take them to the gas station. You wait for them to do their business. Then you have to reverse that whole process. And the person that actually has the most opportunity loss is you for picking them up. I just believe in...
That's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't think about this. This guy's constantly thinking about shitting and the economics of shitting and who's dumping and who can pay him money, right?
I'm Lee Cook here for a little bit. I kind of have a business proposal, a little bit of an idea. You charge you guys $1,000 to take a shit.
Yeah.
Say you have 10 guys on your team, and on average, the average person probably shits 4 to 6 times a day.
No,
So we'll say 5 shits a day.
Okay.
So 5 shits a day times 10 times 1,000. You're making $50K a day just by transferring people to and from the toilet.
Yeah, that's better than Uber. And I'm gonna push back a little on your daily shit averages. I don't know what's going on with you. I think you should see a specialist. I would assume you're projecting there. But yeah, that's big business. A lot of money in this shit.
Forget the solar panels, whatever you're selling. It's all about the shitting.
It's all about solar panel salesmen transferring them to and from a shit house.
There's like a side business that goes with all the door-to-door guys. And it's like, oh, yeah, they're selling that. And then we got the side shitting business that takes them to and from the toilet.
Sometimes I worry about us getting stale. I'm like, no, we've already kind of covered that topic. And it was like, if it was 100 episodes ago, it's like, well, we can come back to it. We need something new in Urban. What are they up to? And then this guy's talking about bluffing to get Venmo requested $1,000 for shitting for salesmen who work under him. And you're really just at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your stuff.
And you're probably making content to an empty room just for TikTok.
Yeah. I haven't even gotten into that yet. And then your content is about shitting.
You
for
probably don't even
1,000
have
per.
a business. Your business is probably pretending to have a business on social media to go viral.
I don't know, man.
And then I saw a comment that was pretty funny to sum it up.
This guy says, I make my guys wear diapers. If you can't sell in a poopy diaper, you aren't good enough to be on my team.
That's right.
That's basically like, I don't know where the line is between satire and reality for these guys. Like you could come up to me and tell me this guy's satire and I would be like, good bit. You know, like that one guy who does all the like, sell me this pen.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Friday something?
Yeah, Almost Friday. They
Almost
have that.
Friday guys.
DuPont.
Yeah, the DuPont method.
So this is basically indecipherable from that. So I don't know where we're headed as a society. Because we're going to have AI and then people who need to pay $1,000 to shit.
AI doesn't need to go to the bathroom.
I know. AI could just sell.
That's a good point.
Imagine a salesman AI. We're getting dark here.
It could be bad.
Yeah.
All right, our next clip was the one we mentioned in the intro. This feminist woman tries to stop ducks from mating.
Get away from her! Get away from her! Hey! Get off of her! Hey! Stop it! God damn it, get us a net! Is everybody just standing around?
How do you figure more ducks get made?
Then let's zoom forward a little bit to when she jumps in, the last like 20 seconds.
Is that illegal?
So that's pretty good. This type probably doesn't say anything about the Pakistanis, though.
Yeah.
She probably encourages them. We need more diversity. We need these Pakistanis here. They're good.
The ducks are the issue.
The ducks are the issue. And then the person at the end with the camera put it best. She's interfering with life.
What do you think you're doing? You think this is a duck rape? and like you're the savior and then everyone else is crazy for not stopping the two ducks?
Why is everyone just standing around? We need a net.
Yeah.
It's like because nothing's happening. This is how a duck gets more ducks.
Yeah. And then imagine this woman having like a male son. How much male son? It's redundant, but I sound like Ketanji Brown Jackson writing a legal opinion.
Yeah.
Male son. But yeah, she has a son. What would she do to him? What would she do to her husband if she has one when he wants to go golfing?
Cooked.
Extrapolate this. And I would assume this woman's on a lot of pills.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what fried her brain the most, do you think?
Social media? What do you think?
I would say SSRIs, birth control, a narcissistic mom, and Mount Holyoke College.
Yeah, it's a trifecta. And put that all into a cocktail, all of a sudden you're jumping in the duck pond to separate two ducks. I don't know.
You ever see a bear eat a deer?
Yeah, they scream the whole time. They don't even kill it.
I think I may have told this story, but I saw a video of a bear scrape a deer. The deer ran away. Then the deer's guts were just hanging out for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Where were you,
Hey,
woman? Yeah,
you just cut that deer open. There's a funny meme here. Hey, can I get you a beer? Sure. She's not interested. The meme with the lady and the ducks.
Classic.
All right, that's pretty good. Our next story is a video of a guy who gets caught taking pictures of teenage girls who are in their bathing suits at the lake.
It says, caught a random creep taking photos of my friend and I, so we baited him a second time to get proof.
No, you're taking photos. No, I saw you take photos of us. We saw it the first time and we thought we were just seeing things, but I fully saw you take a photo of her. No, I saw you take a photo of her. I just got it online. Yeah. Can you tell us why you were doing that? I'm not. No, we saw you and I have video proof of it. I just watched you delete it. No, I just watched you delete it.
Yeah, I'm just chilling here.
You're not though, because I fully just watched you. Yeah, can you tell us why you were taking photos of us?
No, I'm not.
But you were, because I fully just saw the photo on your phone.
And
I
just
have video.
recorded your phone and
I
watched
have
you
video
delete it.
evidence. We saw it the first time, and I thought I was seeing things. And so we had her walk up to see if you would do it again, and you did.
Maybe he's a First Amendment auditor. One of those types.
Oh, all right. What's your main thought here?
Okay.
Because we talked about this before the show, and I was like, this is white Urban Decay. I mean, it's bad. Everybody, obviously what the guy's up to is no good, right?
There are some takeaways, though.
Okay.
First, obviously, this is a creepy guy.
Of course.
Taking pictures of teenagers in their bathing suits, right?
Unacceptable.
But what's the takeaway here? There are creepy guys out there.
Of course.
There's migrants out there. There's the Pakistanis at the kids' park we've shown.
Oh, yeah.
So if that is the case, and there are creepy men out there, you can't be basically naked in public. So you're in a bikini, which is basically underwear, but it's okay because you're swimming in a lake, and it's not really underwear because there's a design on the bikini. It's kind of the time to maybe be a little more modest and protect yourself because there are creeps and illegals from third world countries here.
Okay, that's fair. I kind of want to live in a world where you have a brother and an uncle and you call them instead of trying to confront this guy, and then this guy just gets the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I want to be. But I also agree with your point about underwear and kind of being in a bathing suit and whatever. But isn't that their right as an American?
Yeah. But it's also technically his right to film in public as long as they're not underage. It's not illegal to do that. I'm not defending him.
You are defending him.
But I'm saying it's like if you're talking about
on his side.
But if you're talking about rights,
yeah,
that's true. But then he technically didn't break the law. He's taking a picture at the lake, which is a public thing, which is not good. He's taking pictures of kids or teenagers. Depends if what age they are. If they're over 18, it's not illegal. If they're under 18, it is illegal.
Slippery. You're slippery.
I'm not slippery.
I agree with you.
But I'm just saying the current atmosphere is what it is. There's a lot of weird third worlders here. There's a lot of creepy guys here like that guy.
Yeah.
Now's not the time to have your underwear up your butt at the lake.
Fair.
And then I don't want to sound like I'm defending the guy because I'm not. But those girls or types of girls like that would also post pictures of themselves on Instagram at the lake and going, "Oh, I'm at the lake." And you're wearing the outfit in the picture is the same picture, but just someone else took it and one's online for everybody and someone else just took it on their own accord.
Okay.
I'm not defending anybody.
Yeah. Keep saying it. Keep saying it at the
But
end.
now's not the time to be wearing your underwear and being naked in public, everybody. And it never really was the time either.
Okay.
I think it's a time. We have a nice, modest summer.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right.
All right, that was close.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm with you the whole way.
No, you're with me.
I'm separating myself. There's a lot.
I think if you call the cops on that guy, he doesn't get in trouble.
Does he not?
If they're over 18, he does not get in trouble. And I'm not defending him. I think that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You call your brother or your dad, he gets beat up, and he doesn't call the cops because he was being a creep.
Yeah, it's modest summer, but it's also stomp him out summer.
A little bit of both.
We need to find a middle ground.
We need to find a middle ground. I'm not defending that guy.
Of course not.
But he didn't break the law. All right, next, Tim Waltz was the head F slur at the Pride Parade in Milwaukee. And
there's his stupid wife, too.
Still a floppy mofugger.
Yeah.
Flopping around. He looks like he lost some weight. Looks good.
Yeah, he's still trying. I think he still thinks he's some sort of front runner for next presidential election. He thinks he's going higher.
Really?
I that's a vibe I'm getting from him, at least a little bit.
I would love to see that.
Side note, Pride Month is almost over. Well, it is over.
It is over.
St. Pete had their Pride Parade yesterday, or over the weekend for me, and I was downtown, and I was kind of looking at some of the people coming and going. I wasn't involved in it myself. I was just driving past. And the one thing I noticed is, like, and we've talked about this kind of on the show, how they try to shove everybody into the same umbrella. And, like, you look at gay guys, right? And all the time on your phone, like at home, you look at gay guys and we make fun of them for how much they're on Grindr. There's no governor on them. They just keep going. They keep, whoa, what's that?
They're twerking their ass.
Yeah. But gay guys are generally like, they try to be fit. They're in their 20s and 30s and they're just like catty. They have big groups and they hang out and they're like fit and they're not really fat and they kind of like care and present themselves, and then they work like as a real estate agent or
Cock rings.
Well, yeah. But they're kind of like a certain type of guy, and you have this picture in your head of a gay guy, and it's like, okay, that's that. And then there's the lesbians and the trans.
And the non-binary.
And the non-binary types. And they're like fat.
Disgusting.
And really like short and weak and like no upper body strength. And they're like round and full of soy and
puffy. And then their whole body is like lumpy and shakes. And it's just like these lumps.
I think they're worse than ever. They're fatter and worse than ever. And then they're younger. So like with Gen Z, they're the ones who go to the parade because they kind of like, it's for them. They were born to it. Like that was their generation. It was always the parade. But I saw a guy or a girl, whatever, I don't know, a lumpy blob driving with a bike that's had a trans flag that said protect trans kids. And I was looking at these people and they're so disgusting. They're really unimpressive. And then I'm wondering how gay guys are even related to that at all. Just because we both do something that's not heterosexual.
I think they don't like each other.
I think they don't like each other. I think there's beef. Gay guys just kind of want to, you know what they want to do.
When we go to Ride 'em Cowboy on Friday, we should ask around.
Yeah.
The gay bar in town.
Yeah.
Just to get some data. We'll have a survey.
Yeah.
And $200.
Yeah, you'll go. $200. Who wants it? You guys go to Orlando. You 200. You gay guys, I got a question for you. But yeah, I don't know. I just think there's a delineation there that I noticed. And this is just from people walking to and from a gay get-together. They're totally different sides of the end. And I think they have nothing in common. So
delineation.
There's a delineation there.
It's a good word.
Lesbians and trans, they're all these lumpy. They're all very unimpressive. And gay guys, like a gay guy, Peter Thiel, Scott Bessent, they go somewhere.
Scott Bessent's a gay guy?
Yeah, he's gay. He's gay. Finance gay.
Finance gay. Tech
Very
gay.
rare.
Finance gay, tech gay.
I know. So like gay guys, they can still do, I don't know. Well, I'm rambling here, but they shouldn't be together. They should have two separate things, is my point.
Yeah. That's a good point. And then you think about what they do like naked.
Oh, always. I'm constantly thinking about that.
I'm like watching videos to study, but the lumpy people is disgusting and it's stinky. And then the gay guys is probably it's probably pretty impressive what they're up to. Like going all night.
All right. Poppers and shit.
Poppers.
Go all night, go like crazy.
Yeah, you have a six-pack and you're like, bum, 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 bum. Like they go crazy.
I think we're going too far.
A little too far.
Last two videos, too far.
Well, one last video for all of cringe. This lady says, "Will you carry my purse? POV. My husband doesn't have fragile masculinity."
There's copyright music, so
and she's got the milkers out.
She's crazy. And this guy.
And this is her husband who's doesn't have fragile masculinity. Ma'am, he doesn't have any masculinity.
Yeah.
In 2025, the new type of masculine is feminine.
Yeah.
That's what masculinity is now. And this guy just drinks too much tap water, probably drinks a bunch of IPAs, and he's like a different type of masculine. He's not a fragile masculine. He's a real masculine until there needs to be a fight.
Yeah.
Or until your tire needs to be changed. Or until someone disrespects your girlfriend and you just go, "Oh, honey, let's just let it go."
Yeah, this, you can tell by his walking, like many of you guys know this guy. You don't know this guy, but you know this guy. And he likes IPAs and he's got a little beer belly and he's got no chin And he always got smoked in dodgeball.
You can't bench 135 once.
And nothing ever, he'll never be a man, kind of. So, yeah, of course he'll carry your purse. Duh.
And then his wife has a little pet.
Yeah.
It's a little man pet.
Little wallet attached. He pays.
It's like a little bit better than a dog because he pays for the dinner.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of Cringe. We're now moving on to Urban Decay. All right, our first clip of Urban Decay. We have a little bit of a subsection here. It's people who are urban individuals and partying in places they shouldn't be. First is a landscaper who knew that one of his clients was out of town, and then he threw a huge graduation party for his nephew or something.
Led to him facing multiple charges.
I didn't break the law. I just broke some rules of probably what my owners didn't want me to do. But I didn't break the law.
Traffic hazards, loud noises, roadways being blocked.
When they arrived on scene, Lieutenant James May says deputies confronted Brown.
And, he represented himself as the homeowner, said he was having a party, indicated it was a graduation party. It was in fact not the homeowner, not related to the homeowners, but it was in fact the yard guy.
Brown says this was a graduation party for his son and his son's friends.
Just wanted to always, do something where we could create an income and bring a positive environment for his friends.
It was mostly teenagers and young adults. We estimate anywhere from 300 to 400 people were at the house. A lot of underage drinking going on.
In addition to breaking and entering and property damage charges, investigators also charged Brown with obtaining property by false pretenses. Did you charge people to get in?
We did not charge, but we did charge because of security reasons.
We did not charge, but we did charge a little bit, the 300 to 400 people.
So it's summer. That's why this section is happening. The urban types are looking to party, but they don't really have the best places to do it, so they kind of have to get in there on someone else's property.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's let the clip finish. Listen to what he says about how he's looking to talk to the homeowner when he gets back.
So remains confident that he hasn't lost a client.
I'm just waiting for them to come home just so I could continue to build my relationship and we can move forward.
Yeah, waiting for them to get back so we can build the relationship moving forward.
Yo,
you're the landscaper, the person who never goes in the house.
Yeah, you're not a butler, you're not the nanny, you're the guy who only needs to access the yard, and you threw a fucking rager at our nice mansion.
300
but yeah,
to 400.
we're gonna keep paying you.
And it was all underage kids drinking and smoking weed.
Yeah, and it says officials said many of the partygoers left the area recklessly in their cars, which led to numerous traffic stops, officials said. And here's some footage from the party itself. We'll just kind of play that in the background. But it was just like a 400-person, and nobody's in the pool.
Surprise, surprise.
Or a typical urban party, right?
And then I was thinking, we talked about this before, his lack of remorse.
Yeah.
That should play into his charges, where it's like, hey, I fucked up. I invited a few people, and they invited people, and it got out of hand, and I tried to get everyone to leave. He's playing it like, oh, it's no big deal, and I'm going to have a relationship with the homeowners when they get back. And that should actually up the charges in my mind, because he really didn't even realize what he did was wrong and a huge issue.
Yeah. The judge should take that into consideration for sentencing. But then we have some other things here. People are taking advantage, right? This guy, this was like a Ferris Bueller's Day Off type thing, party house thing. But others are going to apartment complexes and taking over there. Do you want to play those?
Yeah, this one's in Ohio.
New tonight, some neighbors are dealing with a crisis in their apartment community near Grandview Heights. They called 6 on Your Side for help because they say crime is taking over and hundreds of strangers are too. Aaron Simonek joining us live from Runaway Bay Apartments. Aaron, what you are about to show us is shocking, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely, Jessica. Just imagine hundreds of people taking over this apartment complex who don't live here and don't pay rent, partying at the pool, the beach, and even the parking lot. Neighbors who do pay rent say they're concerned for their safety after even hearing gunshots earlier this month.
At first glance, the Runaway Bay Apartments seem like a dream, a picturesque landscape nestled on one of these Scioto quarries.
The gate is not locked. It is a free-for-all for whoever wants to come in and out of this place.
But some people who call it home say it's become a living nightmare.
I've had my kayak stolen, my paddleboard stolen, I've had my car broken into, but yet we can't talk to the trespassers.
Carrie Cassidy has been renting here for a long time and says crime is only the start of the problems. There's a dangerous and disturbing trend happening involving pop-up events where hundreds of strangers take over the property, including the pool, the parking lot, and the quarry beachfront. All of this on private property where they don't live or pay rent. The front gate.
Damn, random strangers. I hate strangers.
I hate strangers so much. And it goes on the rest of the video. You know, she said she's gotten things stolen. There's been shootings. These people just come in kind of like by a truckload. None of them live there. They don't pay rent. And they just ruin the fucking place.
Hey, maybe they leave it better than they found it.
Yeah, they're always picking up trash. You imagine the news story. These people, they built a dock for us. And it's like they're smoking blunts, yelling, getting in fights, getting drunk, and, you know.
Driving home after.
Of course they're doing it on private property, right?
And then what's going to happen next? They hire a security guard. And then the security guard will go up to them and say, hey, do you guys live here? And then they'll go, why are you asking me? Because I'm black?
And that's where the clip starts. That's where the viral, look at this example of racism video starts, is why are you asking us if we live here? It's after weeks of this, an apartment building finally hires a security guard. And they're like, you ain't asked that white bitch over there. And then it's like, that's Lydia. I see her every Tuesday and Thursday. She lives in apartment 413. But you didn't ask her. And that's like the type of examples of racism.
Exactly.
Why a security guard here? Why he keeping us down? Here's the last one. It's guys using a similar type of pool.
Niggas is trying to go swim. Niggas, here, I got you, cuz. But see, like, niggas ain't pee like me. I don't be needing like, you know. But yeah, it's going down. Go ahead, hop over that motherfucker. Right. Yeah. Teamwork effort.
Can they even swim?
No, they don't even swim. So they just go to the pool to fucking ruin it.
It's like me going to break into a Pilates class.
Yeah.
Just to hang out.
Yeah.
Near the machine.
Yeah.
And then
I like the sounds.
If you look at the clip, they're all jumping the fence. All you have to do is have one person jump the fence and then open the gate for everybody else.
Yeah, they're too stupid.
But they got to go, oh, we all got to jump in.
They're too stupid. That's crazy.
So this is what the partying looks like. And I actually found this poster for an upcoming party. And I want to maybe place some bets. This is going to be in August 2nd, 2025. The Thicknick Picnic in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
And we're going to do an over-under. Will there be gunshots there?
I'm going to say yes, and I will place it at over. Well, how many are in a Glock? I'm going to say over 15 bullets fired.
And then, like, how many?
Give some room for an extended mag.
Yeah, or like a full clip with a Glock with the switch, so it all comes out. And then how many shot versus how many killed?
Like 6 wounded, no killed.
Yeah, 10-1.
And there's going to be a twerk contest there.
There's going to be a twerk contest there. And we have a little bit of a preview of what Chicago looks like lately. Here's Chicago from earlier this weekend.
The police are attempting to arrest someone.
No, bro. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Oh, look at him. Let me get him. Let me get him. Let me get him.
Come a long way from the times when the cops would have a billy club. And they go beat everyone up in a good way.
Crazy.
Very bad.
But yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of where we're at. People will just take advantage, and then, like, if nobody tells them to leave the first time, then that's the new hangout spot. And your apartment complex got taken over by 18-year-old ghetto black people, you know?
Not good.
They're smoking Black and Milds and shit, so watch out. My advice is nip it in the bud if it happens to you. Go all out as soon as it happens, because...
And they go, this place ain't good. And go to the next place.
Yep.
Because once you go like 5 weekends in a row, then it's the spot.
Then it's the spot, and they learn. They start learning, and then they remember directions. Where that place at again? Oh, yeah.
They could learn. Next is a story, 20-person jewelery heist.
This is a new show record. We've kind of shown some heists where a lot of people are going, but this is 20 individuals on a smash and grab at a jewelry store. Look at him. So 20 people is like 5 cars, fully packed sedans.
It's like a whole football team.
You could play 10-on-10 football, just one man down. I don't even have 20 friends.
I don't even know 20 people.
And then at a certain point, like, you know, you always see in the movies, there's some sort of heist, and it's a guy who's kind of leading the team, and he goes, I picked out the best guy. He's the safe cracker. He's the this. I could trust them all.
Getaway driver.
On a 20-man heist, you don't even know some of the other people.
They probably fight each other.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, hey, Lil Tay's cousin's going to come with us. It's like, who? You don't even know everybody.
That's so true. And then also with this situation, you notice when they're running in, there's not much of a team effort. It's just 20 individuals all trying to get as much jewelry as they can each.
Yeah.
It's not like, all right, I break the door, then you go in with the bag, and then you have the hammer, and then you get the jewelry in the bag, and then we all run out. It's like everyone grab what you can, and that's what you got.
There's no splitting the loot later. It's like they're 1099 heist employees. It's like you eat what you kill. It's your 100% commission based heist member.
All right, our next clip is a guy who's doing a prank where he's pretending to be blind and then staring at people, and then look at the reaction he gets.
What the hell you looking at, man?
I'm not looking at you.
Ain't nobody else over here but me, man. What the hell you looking at, man?
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Man, come on, man. There's a whole lot of other places you can look at besides me, man. I'm over here chilling my own business, man. What you got going on, man?
None.
Hey, man, what you want to get punched or something?
Yo, relax. You sound very aggressive, but I'm blind, man.
Damn, homie.
Yeah.
So that was enough to start a fight.
I think
you're about to get punched because you're looking in my direction.
Beautiful day. You're on a park bench.
And you're about to assault somebody.
It's punch time.
All right, speaking of punch time, our last clip of Urban Decay, Texas girls fight. This is in Frisco, Texas. These two girls went at it.
Double fight. Oh! Damn! Double fight. Oh my God. Damn! Shit!
Oh, I thought she was going to break it up.
Don't bug me.
What is wrong?
What is going on?
Bro, stop.
Run up, get done up, street. Run up.
See, we show white Urban Decay when they act black.
Yeah, we do.
We're fair.
And those girls were blacked out drunk.
Mm-hmm. And
what's your excuse for the whole thing? Explain the party earlier. You know, they were blacked out, and they'll never do this again.
All right. Well, don't get too down or too depressed. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold. All right, Uplifting Gold. We have a lot of uplifting stuff today. First, we got some dirt bikers who were causing a ruckus in the park, and then they returned to the old lady to apologize, and look what happens.
Oh my fucking God, Pablo. Ma'am, I am so sorry. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I was coming.
Every bit of it.
Ma'am, I'm coming over here to apologize to you.
You're nothing but trouble.
Ma'am, I'm coming over here to apologize to you.
That's pretty good.
You're nothing but trouble. That's a good old lady turn of phrase, explanation.
Yeah, and that's Americana.
Maybe.
It is. Old,
dirt bikes.
Mad old lady.
Mad old lady Americana, yeah.
Shouldn't be dirt biking in the park. She's right.
All right.
All right, next, I believe this is in Detroit. This guy was a business owner, and then when he died, he requested that $1 million be dropped from a helicopter above the city.
Is this $1 million?
Yeah.
He did it for real, man. He did crazy.
There it is. You'll never guess the race of the guy.
I don't know.
You'll never guess the race. But there it is. And he probably gave $1 million, and I'm sure only 500 dropped out.
Yeah.
If you're the middleman in a situation like that where you're about to dump money over a whole city of Detroit, you don't pocket some. I don't know how you can't.
You cut yourself a little fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it probably lands on the roof or goes in the gutter or gets...
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of it goes to zero. Yeah. A lot of it goes to zero, but that's nice.
So that's Uplifting Gold. Okay.
It's uplifting. Next, this guy caught a fish and he throws it to an eagle.
Boy, have I got something for you? And this sucker up here. There is a big eagle.
Let's see if he gets it. He'll even dive into the water for it.
2. Oh, come on, get ready. Here he comes. Hopefully does another lap. Here he comes. Oh! How good is that?
That's cool.
That's why animals trust white people.
That's a good point.
You know? That memory, you think the bird remembers it and goes
Yeah.
like, that guy, why'd he give it up? Do you think he thinks anything about it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
That's a good point.
That's nice. Yeah, I had a friend who fed a fish to a pelican once. The pelican almost choked. And then he thought Florida Fish and Wildlife was going to come out and find him. And we kept teasing him. We were like, dude, yo, that pelican's probably dead. You probably killed him.
Wow. You know what Asian people do with those birds?
They hold the fish up and then they snatch the bird. And they slurp the fish and then they cook the bird.
The Asian people, there's those fish with the long necks, like the herons or storks, whatever.
The birds with long necks.
And then they put a rubber band around the neck. So when the bird grabs a fish and tries to swallow it, it gets stuck. And then they take the bird and then they empty the bird's throat and take the bait fish and eat the bait fish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Python Cowboy told me that.
Smart.
All right, next. This is good news for one of us. They make mayonnaise slices for sandwiches.
Duke's Mayo Slices. I don't even know what that means.
I have an idea. I get what's going on here.
What's the difference between that and cheese at this point, though?
I don't know. But it's cool.
Yeah.
He's a real mayo pig, this one.
Yeah. Just like I look like that fat Mexican truck driver who killed 5.
Didn't you used to put mayo on General Tso's chicken?
Did you really do that?
No. Chinese donut boy always accuses me of that. He says, I saw you putting Chipotle mayo on General Tso's chicken. It's like, chill.
Fleccas does really bad mayo squirts. Like, he'll do like the squirt, and then he'll go another one. And then you're almost like biting the texture of it.
It's not even
So
true.
are you going to try that?
No. Okay. And it's not true, but if you're doing keto, mayo is very good.
All right.
Our last clip before the Pure Americana clip of the week, Shaggy cover.
Life is one big party when you're still young, but who's gonna have your back when it's all done? It's all good when you're little, you have pure fun. Can't be a fool, son, what about a long run? Looking back, Salty always a mention. Let me not giving her much attention. She was there through my incarceration. I wanna show the nation my appreciation. Girl, you're mine.
All right, that's pretty good.
Good for them.
All right, our last clip of the whole show is the Pure Americana clip of the week. This, I don't know where it was, but it's the General Lee from...
I don't know.
You know that show?
I forget. The Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
And I think this is in Tennessee.
In Tennessee.
Put me on the spot.
And they did a General Lee jump over the fountain. And he's punching it. And this car's going to get fucked up. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, good for them.
It's very rare to see someone really send it these days.
Yeah, and he still had the flag on the roof, too. Authentic. You didn't get canceled for that. You got the Confederate flag.
And he sent it.
Yeah.
There's no landing that correctly and the car's fine. Like, you're fucked up. You're wearing a helmet. You're going, boom.
Yeah.
Breaks the axle.
Good for you.
All right, that was great. Now we're in our shout-outs. No big deal. Happy birthday to Alec on July 3rd.
Happy birthday, Alec, on July 3rd.
That's from Eliana and Elias.
Oh, two Ellies?
Yeah. It's the wife and the daughter. Yeah.
Or son, Elias?
Elias, I don't know, Hispanic.
That's okay.
But that's, hey, happy birthday,
I
Alec.
like that. The same family tree having the same type of name.
It's great.
Yeah, like you ever see those families who name everyone like a J name?
Yeah,
Or they name everyone something with the same letter?
That's
I kind of respect that. They're trying something.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's a plan, you know?
Everyone's got the same initials.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Congrats to Manuela and Seth, who got married last week. We have a picture of them and the couple in the background. Very lovely. Manuela and Seth.
All right.
Very cool. Shout out to Joel, who got this Fleccas license plate in California.
He got that, and it was just because of you?
I'm the only Fleccas.
He sent it to you?
His brother sent it to me.
Wow.
He doesn't even have Instagram. I try to follow him back.
That's a nice Camry, too. I like a Camry. Smart buy.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of miles out of that.
That's a good point, and very
I
cool.
like the black California plate, too.
And I think that's like the 5th Fleccas license plate out in the wild.
We're getting crazy.
Yep.
No RRB? No RRB license plate anywhere?
You can.
All right, keep going.
All right. Happy birthday to Lily Jackson on June 30th.
Happy birthday, Lily Jackson.
And we have a picture of her and her husband, and then we also have a picture of her family at church.
Wow.
The Jacksons.
That's nice in America.
Isn't that nice? That's Americana.
Those are her kids?
Yeah.
3 kids?
3 kids. You're in church.
That's nice.
That's a nice family. Happy birthday. And then happy anniversary to Angela and John. And they just had the baby George last week, or 2 weeks ago.
You know, Angela and John, happy anniversary, but the shout-out requests.
Is it a lot?
There's four of them, 4 birthdays. Everyone's having a baby every once in a while. Then we got
anniversary.
2 anniversaries a year. It's getting to be a lot. But happy anniversary for you guys.
They put in the work.
I know. I can't turn them down.
We can't turn them down. And they are such passionate show watchers. And I think John makes a bunch of GIFs from the show on Twitter, which I love.
Yeah, he does.
So you guys get whatever you want. You get more if you want. Don't listen to Richard.
I'm just saying, there is one every other week.
And we love it. It's better than none. Imagine the show didn't matter and people said, oh, you don't have to shout me out. I don't even watch.
I know. Very grateful.
Oh, no need to shout me out. We don't even watch your show.
No need to shout me out. You get 2 views. You're in a parallel schizophrenic fever dream.
No need to shout me out. I didn't even realize you had a show.
You're right.
So it's
Champagne Problem.
Champagne Problem, it's called.
All right.
All right. That is the end of the episode. Reminder, there is no Friday episode, but if you want an episode on Friday, there will be a bonus land. FleccasTalks.com is where to find that. And as always, we leave you with the Fleccas Anthem created by New Classics. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on Friday in Bonus Land, July 4th.
There's uplifting gold and Fleccas pets getting trolled. Coming up to bite in your day. The
did have cows in our house. So big deal.
I have to go.
Yeah.